Okay, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you on this hot June day with a very cool topic that we have for you. We've got you Krishna Mouli, who's going to be talking to us about AI as a tool in design, revolutionizing creativity. I think AI is a very overhyped word across many industries, and design too has its fair share of puzzlement about what AI is. It almost seems like a magic word. It makes us giddy with excitement. We all are terrified at the same time about what AI means for us in design. However, a lot about AI is still not so known. At least we don't know where it gets applied in the most optimal manner. The world is working at it, and we are here to discover a little bit more about it. So I'm going to invite Krishna Mouli to talk a little bit about it. But to begin with, I want to give a little brief about Krishna. He's presently with Infobel, Bangalore, and is an experienced AI educator and practitioner. He's passionate about helping designers harness the power of AI. And that's why he's agreed to come and give us a a better understanding what AI means. In the past, he's worked with renowned companies like Boston IT Solutions and Times Professional Learning, and is currently developing cutting edge AI solutions. So I'm going to invite Krishna to come and tell us about this, or what AI as a tool in design means, and what revolutionizing creativity will AI be up to. So Krishna, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. And I hope all of you have cooled down yourself. I heard that it's like 50 degrees in Delhi. I'm based out of Bangalore, so it's cool 20 degrees over here, and a calm weather with nice wind. So if anyone's from Bangalore or South, they would know that the heat wave is gone to North now, right? So with that small conversation, let's start today's topic. So today we are going to talk about how, as a designers or budding creative person, how we can use AI to help us in our creative journey. That's the whole theme which I am looking forward to deliver today in this 1 hour webinar. So as all of you know, we are virtually connected in this digital world. There would be some hiccups of network either on my side or on your side. If you have any issues, please do text. Feel free to text on the chat of what kind of bad experience or some network issue which you are having. It will help us to slow down the pace, or ask you to check your network at your end. So with that small instruction, let's begin today's session. So I hope all of you have your own opinions on AI, and each opinion is different. Some are positive, some can be negative, some will go for argument, but end of the day, AI is a tool you view as a tool which will basically help us to mitigate our tasks, or help us to grow in our career. That's how we see. So as introduced, I'm basically a software developer, as you can say, and in our software engineering journey, when we were doing engineering, we never had any kind of AI tools. Now we have tools, so we can write programs easily, we can develop fast, so that's how we use in our scenarios. But then there would be other scenarios also. With that, let's look at today's very simple ideology which we are talking on.
Sorry, just a minute, everybody. While Krishna is talking, if you have any questions, I'd like you to note it down in the chat box, and we will take all the questions after he finishes the presentation. Please put down your questions, clarifications in the chat box. And I request rest of you to please switch off, to mute your sound so that we can hear each one clearly. Thank you.
Thank you. So, right. So I was talking about AI, right? So AI is, as most of you know, it's artificial intelligence. That is idea is to bring intelligence to a machine. And intelligence can be, in simple terms, can be problem solving. It can be cognitive in nature. It can be, creativity also. All these three things can be embedded into a machine that becomes an AI. And in AI, the main idea is to, you know, there are a lot of process technically, but I won't, will not go into much technical. But we have a process of training and testing. So we would train on certain amount of data and test it on certain amount of data as we humans learn. So when we were child, we never knew what is ABCD or numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 ABCD. We never knew. Somebody taught us what is ABCD, and we were tested regularly on these particular characters. Right. Same way for any artificial intelligence, we would follow the same process of learning. We would train on certain amount of data. It can be image, it can be sound, it can be text, it can be anything in the world. Whatever we digitally use can be fed to an AI machine, and we can expect certain kind of an output from it. So that's the beauty of AI. It learns like human beings. So because has the ability to learn, it also has the ability to understand, and we can also incorporate cognitive ability. But one thing which all of you have to remember is that AI is just a tool, and AI can be used in design also. And we have a lot of tools in the market now, right? So if you look at, AI is not only used in automation. AI can also be used in other aspects. Like, or AI can be used to set alerts. AI can be used as a personal assist for us. We can place a call. We can also ask it some suggestions. It can be also in a counselor for us. So there are many AI bots which are designed to be a counselor, right? So you can look into the aspect of AI from a different perspective. And the main idea in design is a very long process. If you look at from idea creation to delivery or the end production, there are many stages, intermediate stages, and each stage requires a lot of time. Like if I want to create an YouTube video for 5 minutes, I probably would need 3 hours or 4 hours of editing. So that right from thumbnail to background BGMs, it can be licensing of it, editing, it can be creating a story at the start, then filming it. So there are many processes, right? So that's just an example which I'm talking about. Now you have lot of elements or lot of stages or processes which are basically involved in design or also in creating anything. So for that reason, you would need certain tools in between, and manual intervention would require a lot of people to be part of this journey, right? So, and it end of the day boils down to a budget. So what budget I can keep, and what budget I can basically allocate and work with it. So when we have budget constraints, I would say AI would become an easy tool for you, which can do most of the work. With limited manpower, you will be able to get good productivity. Okay. So the thing which I'm trying to make a point in this entire presentation is how we can use AI. And don't think that AI is going to replace a designer. It cannot replace a designer. It cannot replace any creative person. It can only enhance or give you different viewpoints, or it can basically do your work or get a work done. So think AI is only like a personal assist, not like it will replace people's job. AI cannot replace a people's job. They can be people in different fields, right? It can be a architect, it can be a designer, graphic designer, it can be a video editor, anyone in the world of design. They can have different viewpoints. Okay. So for that reason, you cannot say that AI is going to replace you, or AI is going to replace anyone. AI is just going to be there. It's basically going to help you. You depends on how smart you are in using the AI. Okay. So it's like, having a motorcycle, which basically is more powerful, and it will ensure that you reach from point A to point B faster. You can come by public transport, you will take time, but you have different options, right? So same way, when we travel, we have different options. Same way, AI also is one of the option which you can go for. And as the years progress in future, you might be seeing that AI is being used very regularly in industries. So if we say any media and entertainment industry, now AI is become an integral part of it. All the tools, right from Adobe to Canva, to Premium Pro, everybody basically, Filmora, all these tools which I'm talking about, all have AI elements in them, and they need these AI elements to ensure that the the designs come out faster. And it can be anything else. It can be also making a movie also. That process would basically short-termed. That's the idea behind the intervention of AI in tools, right? So how to use the tool effectively is what you have to understand, and if you know how effectively to use the tool, the better it is. So there are certain kinds of options in the market for you to work around in terms of AI tools, right? So most of the tools which I show you are categorized as image generation. Like, let's say I give a text, they generate an image. Then if I want to do magical layouts or proper background styling and different kinds of different kinds of you would say design elements, then you would basically have Canva or Adobe Sensei. If you want style transfer, anything like transfer of one style to other style, let's say you basically having some black and white image, you want to convert to a color image, that's called as a style transfer. Or you want from color to black and white, or some shade of another type of style, then it basically is called as file style transfer. And style transfer, you have different kinds of tools like deep art AI, art.io has basically very good tools which can do transfer of styles. And that's a very popular thing. Like people, when you put filters, right, mostly it is happening at the background is style transfer is happening. And later on, you basically have pattern recognition. And pattern recognition is nothing but to put some kind of a patterns palettes on your image. Some palette you want to add on your image. So those kinds of paletting kind of an options you will basically get through the pattern recognition tools. Okay. So these are the tools, and I've just listed. So I'm not going to name them, but I'm going to talk about Midjourney, which is the most popular tool in market to generate text to image. Most of you would have used Midjourney, but most of the tools are paid. Let's say if I am a beginner, and I am just starting to design myself, I would look for a free tool first, because I want to look at the experience and see value. If I'm having some projects, then I can invest money. But if I don't have a project, I'm doing a freelancing work, or I'm basically creating for college or creating for my internal projects, then I would always look for free tools. So there are a lot of free options also, but they're very limited, and you get watermark. Okay. So when you get watermark, what is the issue? You do not have all the license to publish it, right? So you need to have an idea of tools which basically are not part of this, this watermark thing are avoided. So you have to have those kinds of licensing part also keeping in mind, because most of the times nowadays you get watermark tools. With all the AI tools, they just watermark with their brand names and then generate the images and give you. Okay. So that is the way of them protecting their IP. So if you want to remove the watermark, then you basically have to pay them the amount. So that paying amount is dependent on the designer. So as you can see, for Midjourney you have certain trial version where you can put prompts and you get output, but for rest of the things are generally paid, right? So now, what are the alternate tools? So I was talking about these professional tools which are there in market. Can I have alternate tools, and how these alternate tools can be used to, alternate AI tools used to, enhance my designs. So that is what we are going to talk about. So one of the URLs which I'm showcasing now is an alternative for image to text. Text to image. You put a prompt. Prompt, when I say, is like a text only. So whatever you want an image to generate, you just put your prompt and you go to this URL and you will be able to generate images with high quality. And let me give an example for it. So let's say I have a prompt. Then a prompt says an astronaut is riding a rainbow unicorn in a cinematic and a dramatic manner. So this is a prompt which basically is present. So if I go to this URL and put this prompt, I would get an image which is exactly mentioned in the prompt. Okay, so you have to imagine that an astronaut is riding a rainbow unicorn in a cinematic and a dramatic way. And when I put it in the same URL, you can see this is how the image is basically generated in the in this particular tool. So if I go to this tool and put this prompt, I'll be getting this kind of an output, right? So this tool is fully free. You guys can try it out. Later on you will be able to test it also. Now, okay, I told this is present and we are basically seeing the output of it, but why don't we demo it and check how it looks like, right? So what we will do now is we will go for the, demo. Before we go for demo, we need to have a theme, right? And so the theme is like, imagine that there is a project which we have to create on a fantasy play. Okay. And for this fantasy play, we have created some background story. And the background story is, some kind of a lore, and it has some kind of characters in it, and there is some detailing of the world, and there are certain unique, pieces of landscapes which we have to generate. Okay, so I'll just show the story for the world building, and I want all of you to try out the tool. So I'll share the tool link in the chat so that all of you can try parallelly with me. So on the chat, I'm basing this tool. Oh, sorry, it's gone to some. Right. I hope all of you have got the link to the tool. So if you want, you can try it out by yourself, which will be entertaining, or else I'll basically show for one of the text how it basically looks like, right? So these are the 4 scenes which I have written myself, the 4 scenes which you can see. And this is very simple scenes. You can imagine how the scenes should come out. So you could go to that particular tool, type out a particular scene, and you will be able to, try it out, right? So, uh, so if you guys want to try out, you can try it out. I'll just wait for a minute or so that I can, change my window, which I'm sharing, so that I'll just show the tool. Okay, it's better. So this is the URL which I had shared. So I hope all of you are able to get the URL, right? Or get to this particular page. So in this particular page, this is a free open source tool which you can use to generate any kinds of images based on your scenes which we have written. So I have written the scene which basically says the first scene which I had shown earlier, right? So let me generate an image for it. You could also generate your own image. So for now, I'll be generating for my scene. If you want to generate similar one, you can also generate, right? So I will generate over here. I'm putting my prompt, and I will go for refine and you can see my quality is 1024. If I want, I can go for a 2K scale also, but it would take time. The more the image size you would give, the more time it's going to take, right? So for a faster processing within 2-3 seconds, let's go for 1024 pixels, and rest of the things you have to not worry. And you can, if you don't want any particular element not to be highlighted, you could write that one over here. So there's a default prompt saying that worst quality should be removed and distorted features should be removed. So whatever image which we are going to generate will not have these features, okay, when or these particular quality. So I just added the prompt, the first scene prompt. Okay, this is the first scene prompt which I had shown earlier, and then I'm going to click submit. So this is going to generate one image, and I have to save this image onto my local laptop so that I can use it in later on for a storyboarding activity. Okay, once I get a storyboard, I will have the scene and how the scene will look like. Later on, I can create a video, right? So for that particular scene, I'm getting this particular image. So I can click here and save the image, so that I'll be able to use it later on. Okay, so we have this alternate options, which will basically give you the images. Once you have the image for that particular scene, we can go ahead and create an entire storyboard. So if you want to create a storyboard, a proper storyboard with generative, AI capability, then we have this application called as, so let me, we have this thing called as app board. Okay, I'm just pasting this on the chat also. This gives you a free option. You guys can use this also to create a storyboard. So the way we create storyboard over here is very simple. I'll just go here and you can see the difference between this tool and the other tool. But this is like a more like a paid tool. Okay, so for the same scene, this yesterday I had generated for same scene, you can see the image which is generated, and for the next scene, this is the scene which is generated. So for each scene, I can generate different images and then create a video out of it. There's someone unmuted. Can you mute yourself? Okay, fine. Thank you. Right. So, as I mentioned earlier, so yeah, so in this tool, there is a daily, a daily limit, because this is like a paid and a free tool. Free premium tool is what we call it. The other one, this one doesn't have any limit per day. It can basically generate how much ever images you want, right? So for this tool, which I was showing, app board, the app board basically has the limit. So you can only do so many scenes per day. Okay. Now the thing is, here you have to manually put it in a presentation or put it in on on some other medium to create a storyboard. This app already does the storyboard. That's the only advantage which you basically have, and you can select the type of shots which you want. That's one of the other advantage which you basically have with this particular tool, right? So these are two tools, and for any person who has gone through this particular journey or wants to be a part of this journey, they understand, the more faster I'm able to recreate for my story a scene, if I can create for my particular scene a image, then it becomes easy for the creator or the designer or the production person to basically make the set, or they can basically create those kinds of props faster, so that's kind of the advantage which you basically have in this world of design. Or you can easily create a design, and you can make people understand how your story or play would come across, what they have to do in the play, and they can put their creative ideas and enhance the prompt, and then you can basically regenerate the image. So that uh, life cycle, you're basically the life cycle journey is what you're reducing. Okay, so that's the main advantage with these both tools which we are having in the market. Now you can try with your own story. I hope if anyone has tried using both the tools. Okay, I think yeah. Okay, so I think people are trying it. That's good sign. Thank you, Abhilash and Dikshit. Yeah. Oh, nice. So people are trying. You can try the first one and the second one. The second one, you can just log in with your Google account and you will be able to use that particular tool, right? So I've pasted both the links on the chat. So it depends on, whether you have a story or a scene or not, right? So as you can see that, these kinds of tools which are driven by AI are very useful for, create using in our creative work, right? And if you don't like the image, we can regenerate or generate a new image or enhance the prompt. The way to generate a new image to make it better is to add finer details in your prompt. So in this text, I can add little more finer details. Tell AI where the person to be placed. Those kinds of fine tuning will help to get better results. Okay. So that is one of the major advantage which you basically have with this particular tool. Okay. Right. So anyone wants to ask any kind of questions at this stage? Yeah. So it is a free premium. That means starting one storyboard is free. After that, you have to pay for the rest of the storyboards. So I think for 8 templates, it's free, like 8 cards. For 8 or 9 cards, it's free. After that, you have to pay. So there are tools, AI tools for animation also. You just basically whatever that replicate image generator is there, right? Here you will have theme. You can select different kinds of theme that is present here. That's called scheduler. In this, if you select Euler, you would basically get it like animation type. There are separate animation driven one also, anime style tools. That's also there. This is for general image generation. These are the themes which you can see, which they're showing, right? So you can just click on the prompt, you will know the option. Close the chat window. Yeah, you tried the first one. Nice. So you can try with different schedulers. They will give you different outputs, like different themes. That's what they are meant to do. Okay. And the better quality you would give, the slower it will be, but better quality of image, better image will be generated. The lower resolution you would go, the bad the image you would get. So always try to keep 1040, 2K, 4K kinds of quality so that you will get better image qualities for this particular tool, especially for the generating images based on text prompts, right? Okay, then. Oh, schedulers are nothing but different kinds of tool options you can imagine. So at the back end of these tools, there is an AI algorithms. So the AI algorithms need some kind of knowledge. So you can imagine these are like some kind of algorithms, you could say, some kind of math algorithms. So those are some kind of math driven things. Is there any AI tool for music designing? Yeah, there are tools which basically create music based on text or based on, some kind of keywords which you would give. They would auto generate the music for you. There are tools, there are present, there are many tools actually. Mostly your BGMs are basically, created in that with that AI tools nowadays, right? Okay, then. So what I will do is I will, stop the screen share and go back to my presentation. Sorry for doing this, but little not used to Zoom, right? Fine. So I hope all of you are able to see the presentation, right? Yeah. So we have 4 scenes. Do you guys want to try out the 4 scenes? You are free to do. You can just take a screenshot of all the 4 scenes, and you can try basically generating images for 4 scenes and how it comes. Each person will get a different image. It's not like everyone will get the same image. There'll be slight difference on images which you generate, based on, mostly it will be similar but not same. There's a difference between similar and same, right? So that's the difference which you would get. So there's one more thing is part of the AI, like each designer, based on prompt and based on their history, they would get a different style of images. That customization is what builds in within AI system, right? Now, as I had shown earlier, this is the storyboard part where, we can create a storyboard, and it is very simple. We could create our own storyboard by ourselves, and then paste it up, and then we can narrate the storyboard to people. It can be used as a very good narration tool, where you can narrate it to a particular person, and then explain what is in your mind, how the scenes would play out. And you can also uh, tell like a storytelling. It's basically part of storytelling ideology, right? So there are many other things. Let's say if I want to create, I had few scenes, like probably 4 scenes, but let's say I have a particular, a small, you would say a montage to be created. I want a montage to be created. Okay. So if I want a montage, I would have a text like this. So I want to create this 1 20-second or 10-second montage for my particular movie. And for that, I have created this particular script. Now, I will also paste this. Now, what I want you guys to do is try out and see if you are able to, create some kind of images for this particular text, which I'm going to paste on the chat. Okay, it's going to be a very big chat. Now, meanwhile, I'll answer a few questions. Oh, okay, it's too long. So I have to send part by part. Okay, let me send the first para. That would be enough, right? So all of you understand what is by montage, right? Like you would have, it's a very popular thing to do now. Like most of the things which you do for like shorts is mostly like montage, what you do, correct? So you could try out using this tool and create a series of images. You can split that entire first para into different texts, and small scenes or something. Create 4 5 images, and you can basically see how the videos would, or the image would flow out, right? So you need these images because for later tools you probably can upload those images and then create like something like a movie magic. Okay, so you can create a movie with AI, but for that you need to have images with you. Okay, so if you have images, then we'll be able to create that movie effect, and for that I'll be showing the tools. Okay, is that fine? Right, I think that's right. Then so what I'm going to do is generate the images. So I'm gonna reshare my screen. Okay. You should see a browser now. Can you see a browser? Yeah. So let me split my text into small texts and then use it. So I've already generated the first scene text. I think I'll just generate the other one. So meanwhile, it takes time for it to, generate the text. So you can see there was a portal which I have asked. So it given me this particular image. So I'm just going to save this image on my pictures. So I'm just going to say scene one and I'm going to just save it. So like this for every scene, I have to just generate it. It doesn't take much time of yours. It just basically is like a 5-10 minute activity which you will be doing. And you can see that image generation is very fast, right? So I'm going to generate the next scene, which I've pasted. Like she's encountered an ente named, Vice ente, and then she is in grave danger. So let's see what it gives us as an image. So you can see encounter part, it is present. So I'll just save this particular image also. So after saving 4 or 5 images, I'll just stop, and later on you guys can carry forward, and I'll just show how to create, how to upload the images and create like a movie. So I'll generate one more, and then probably we will move out to the next aspect of creating a movie. Okay, so based on prompt, it sometimes takes time, sometimes it's fast or slow. Mostly you should be able to get it in 3-4 seconds. If it's taking time, probably the scene is complex, so to generate it would take time. Okay, so okay, so it didn't generate. I have to resubmit it. Let's see, if it's not able to generate, then we will add one more prompt, because sometimes certain prompts they might be complex, or we have to change the size of it. It depends on that, but generally you should be able to generate text over here. Sorry, generate the image based on text. Yeah, I think some image. Okay, I can see there's one more image which has come. Just change. And this is the last one which I'm going to generate, right? So if you have the text, it's easier. If you don't have, you can just use the one which I've pasted on the chat, and you should be able to generate the images and save the images. And saving it is very easy in this particular tool, right? Okay, so we have our last image. So it says basically a temple. So I think that's why it's generated a temple for us. So I have all 4 images saved. I would say 5. Now, what I'm going to do is I need to generate a movie. So once I have all these, images with me, I can go for different tool. Let me paste the tool names first so that you guys are familiar with it. So I'm going to paste two text to video, you know, uh, tool URLs on the page. Like I have pasted 2 URLs. I have just kept one of them open already. Okay. So this is basically Flex Clip. It's one of the tools which we can use for generating based on text in video. Okay, but the video also which you get here is mostly mostly like some kind of a uh, text and background will be different. So there's no relationship between a text and the background. Sometimes you just can't want something like a messaging kind of a tool, right? So there are other options also. You can video generate and text to speech and other things. So we will be interested in video generate. I'll just log in. I've not logged in. So let me just log in with my account. Okay, so once you have logged in, we can go for this AI video generator. Okay, so you can see there are 2 options. One is AI text to video, and then there is an article URL to video. And if I click this, it basically gives me an option of adding some kind of a small text so that it can generate the video for us. So let me give a very small prompt so that we'll be able to do it faster. So certain videos takes more time than the images. Sometimes I've given very small, as you can see, it gives me like different versions. So you can see here dense forest, but you can see the image, video which is created. This is not dense forest. Right? So this is one of the limitations which you basically have with these kinds of tools. The text to video, when they do, they will not give you certain the it's a, the relevance is missed out because they are generating based on the keywords which basically are there. So as you can see, we can replace it by going for this forest theme over here, and you would get forest theme, and you can just select which theme you want. So it's basically, if it's a mismatch, you can just select a forest theme. So let me select this. So I'm going to replace it. Now this scene is set. Okay, I want this particular scene, and then I can go to the next scene, and this is the text for the next scene. And if I feel okay, this is relevant, then I will not replace, I will just carry forward, right? So in this particular way, we create these scenes and then add a timeline to it, and your video is ready. But as you can see, there is a lot of manual intervention, and the AI is not able to give you a very accurate image generation part over here because it's a free tool. If it's a paid tool, you would basically get it in a much better manner. So I'll just show the other one, the story kit, which is one of the very good tools which can be used. Okay, story kit basically is a free premium tool. You also have a lot of ideas, so you can create a video very easily. You can try it out for free, and you can use it for your use case. So let's go back over here, and we have here, we can paste the same text. Okay, so I have to So I'm just going to say create a video for that small text, the previous text which we generated. Same thing. It takes little less more time because the quality and the relevance is better in this particular case. Okay. Right. So it's almost done, like 2% more, and we have done. So the last finishing might take time. So video is ready, but you can see the output of the video will like this. So as you can see, the video is not as as attractive as basically your images, right? So there are motion AI motion, you would say, motion generators. So you upload an image, the image will be generated as a motion, and that you can create as a movie. So that's why I basically was asking you guys to save the images. You can try that motion aspect whenever you're free, right? So these are, you can see, like how for a video editing part, how easily I can basically create videos, or I can create, generate images, put it on a storyboard, and explain or showcase my work to the world, right? So the most of the content creators which you see, the top content creators, they and their team use a lot of AI, right? So this AI is, very interesting tool. So you could also try out. I would say try out. Until you try, you will not know what features they are having, you know. So with that, so this is what the tool which we had used, the flex tool. The tool gives you images in that way. As you can see, for each image, for each text, there's no relevance, so we have to always replace media. If you go for a premium, the relevancy is very good, but premiums are generally like $1, $3, sometimes monthly subscription of $20. Sometimes it's worth if you have a project, but if it's not, if you're doing a free project, I would not recommend to use paid versions of the tools. So with that, I will stop my talk, and if you guys have any questions for me, I am open to answer, or else, you know you have anything relevant to ask, you can ask. Yeah.
Anybody would like to ask?
Okay, so
Okay,
give me.
while they're getting ready, Krishna.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. There is a question from Gurshan Singh. Will you take it up, Krishna?
Yeah, so there are many tools. I think SoundDraw is one of the best tool. You can use the SoundDraw tool, right? So that one gives you very good accuracy. It's basically SoundDraw, right? That's the tool name which basically we use a lot. If you want a free tool, then I would share a link. You can basically check over here if you are able to get that free tool, right? I'm just sharing this tool which I had shown at the start, right? I basically will give you the entire generative AI part. So if you've heard the key term in industry which people talk now is generative AI. Generative AI is a field which generates things. So whatever you've seen now is called generative AI, and that's why it's categorized. So you can go through that entire, that's basically an URL which I've pasted for enter generative AI. They have different tools over there. All are free. You can use them for your projects, right? And it's very helpful for you in the future. So for animation design also, Mausama, you can basically go for the generative AI. So in generative AI, whatever we are talking about, everything's are basically covered, right? So anyone else? Okay, are you aware of any AI tools that make web page? Yeah, there are many tools, so that is again part of the coding part of it. So if you ask ChatGPT, it will basically give you the code. That's where's the first point to start with. But yeah, there are professional tools. Not sure whether you will be able to buy them because most of them are unreleased. There are other tools which basically are unreleased tools. So there are tools which makes website based on your draw. So if you have to draw your website design, and it would give you the front end, so that tools are there. I think Rohit has a question for real-time video editing, right? So you can go for Filmora. Filmora basically has or Wondershare, like whichever you are more used. I use Wondershare a lot. So Wondershare has this AI intelligent video editing tool. So it's a very good tool, and it's SaaS based. So it's basically online, cloud based. So it's very easy for you to edit. That's a very good part. Ritesh has any AI for 3D art. Yeah, so for which URL I've shared, right? Then that only you have for 3D also. Whichever image generation tools you will use, they have an option for 3D, right? So you can generate 3D arts from the same, this one, from the same tools. If you want to talk about more technical at the back end, then it's mostly like APIs. So you can go for the APIs and customize, make your own tool if you are interested to develop your own tool. It doesn't take much coding now. With ChatGPT, most of the codes are given to you. You have to just copy paste it. It gives you instruction how to run it. You have to just run it, right? So if you want your own offline tool which runs on your laptop, if you have a gaming laptop, that should be suffice your entire requirements, right? Game designing, yeah, for game designing there are tools, but they're kind of embedded in your like Unity engine. All those engines basically already have AI in it, for motion, for intelligence, like for bots, you would say. So I would say that already it's inbuilt within Unity or Real Engine. So you do not need to go for a third party tools. Just go for Real Engine or Unity. They already have it, right? So I think a lot of active participants we are having.
Yes. Do we have any more questions? Can I ask you one in the meantime?
Yeah, you can ask.
Krishna, at what point, there are, of course, many people who are training to be designers, and
Correct.
this is some of the tools that they would be learning.
Hmm.
What would you advise the young designers and the practitioners to, of course, you can optimize this use of these AI tools, but at what point should you draw the line and project your individuality or creative part of yourself and not be seen as just another AI generated designer?
Right.
What would you advise them?
So my simple advice to anyone who is getting into design field is, first of all, don't 100% rely on the tool. Tool will make mistake. That's how it is. So it's like you're taking assistance from another person. Now you're replacing the person with a computer. That's the only difference. So you do not always rely on the tool, and a tool will always make mistake. It's not 100% guaranteed that it'll give you good generated answer, or your expected answer, I would say, or expected result will not come. Second thing is, follow your instinct. So as a designer, and as a creative person, you should always rely on your instinct, and instinct is very important as a designer, right? So you have to always rely on your instinct. Always double check on your work. Get feedback from most of the people. Talk to people. Until unless you don't show your work as a designer to multiple people and take multiple inputs, you are always incomplete, because there's different viewpoints which we can always accommodate, right? So these are the three things which I would say is very important for any designer who's going to start his career.
Thanks. There's
Yeah.
another question from the
Can I help? Can I help in architecture? If yes, then how? Okay. Okay. So I would say for architecture, technical drawings, I would say, you know, you can do a 2D, 2D to 3D rendering part. You know, it helps in rendering. I'm not sure whether you already know that all the softwares currently which you use for architecture, they soft all this like Maya or whatever tools which you're using. I'm not very sure which tools you would use for architecture, but those tools already have certain kinds of AI inbuilt, because every, like if you imagine Adobe basically having AI, you know, so in Adobe, a few of my friends work in AI team, and they are the basically backbone for all your Adobe AI features which you see in Adobe, right? So for architect, it's more technical in nature. I am not from architecture background, and so do not have an idea on architecture. There is from my knowledge, but you could basically look up, you know.
Right, guys. Thank you. I am going to, oh, sorry, how will the certificate be received? All right. Dheeraj, this will be online, sent to you online. We have noted the people who have attended the seminar, the webinar, so we will be sending it. All right. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation. And I want to thank Krishna for the most informative as far as many of us are concerned. Very enjoyable, very engaging. Thank you very much, Krishna. And for the rest, I do want to inform you, we are coming up with our webinars on digital product design and game design in the next few weeks. So keep tuned in. We'd love to have your participation, and we'll be addressing many more of such kind of questions. Thank you very much. Enjoy your hot day wherever you are. Krishna, thank you very much. You have
Thank
brought
you.
some coolness to our lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I enjoyed the session. Great crowd. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.